Ex-girlfriend tried to ruin our relationship by having her cousin tell me my fiance was cheating on me. My fiance and I have been together for 5 years and we got engaged a couple weeks ago. My fiance, who we'll call Mike, has an ex-girlfriend we'll call Lizzie. Mike and Lizzie were on and off for a long time and dated briefly before he and I met. They didn't speak for years. Last year Lizzie started talking to Mike again and Mike was very clear that he was just interested in friendship. He was going through a hard time where he lost a lot of his old friends because they were all toxic and picked on him, so he was a bit desperate for friendship. Lizzie would frequently drop in hints that she was still in love with him and he would shut her down. I was initially uncomfortable with them talking, but he and I had been going to couples therapy for other reasons, and when I brought this up with our therapist, she suggested that we establish clear boundaries about how Mike communicates with her, and things have been going well. She hasn't pushed the limits and he is very open to showing me their conversations if I'm feeling insecure. I want to be clear that I don't ask to see his phone, but he will occasionally offer to let me. We luckily haven't run into any issues, until today. We made an announcement on FB about our engagement and Lizzie texted Mike asking why he didn't tell her. She then stopped responding to him. Separately, I got a message from Lizzie's cousin Beth. Beth told me that Mike had been secretly FaceTiming Lizzie, and that he has been secretly going over to Lizzie's place. The cousin sent me screenshots of Mike and Lizzie's text messages and told me that he was cheating on me and I should leave him. It was all a lie. The screenshot texts were completely innocent conversation. I confronted Mike about the accusations and he was in complete disbelief. He would have to be the best actor in the world to fake how confused and upset he was. He is angry and embarrassed to have ever pushed to maintain a friendship with her, and I am completely in shock that someone would want to hurt us this way. Thankfully we have a therapy session to go over things soon. We are choosing right now to not make any more contact with Lizzie or Beth and have blocked them both. Mike and I have a solid relationship and have never run into any issues with unfaithfulness in all the time we've been together. I trust him and I believe him. He is incredibly hurt by the situation and doesn't understand how Lizzie thought this would work out in her favor. Comment. Another example of why an ex is an ex for a reason, and there is no reason to ever be in contact with them again, unless a shared child is involved. Yeah, let's start by saying I don't care what the therapist said, that was a really dumb idea to allow someone who is off and on with your person to have communication and become friends. Let me ask you what you both thought would happen? Why do you both think that it was any kind of great idea for him to need or have an ex as a friend, especially one that was the most recent and was off and on, obviously showing that they have a hard time stopping and letting each other go? Why do you think all of a sudden out of nowhere she decides she needs him as a friend? You understand why she did what she did, if she is lying about him? It's because she thought that she was going to take him from you, because he obviously still needed her and you weren't enough, cause if you were enough, then he wouldn't have needed her an ex as a friend. This is what I don't get. Who cares if he lost all his toxic friends? That means he's moving in the right direction and shedding all the toxic of his life, right? And then what do you all do? No, really, what do you all do, and with the therapist approval? Why? Oh, you all allowed a toxic person to come back into his life. What's truly messed up is it's not like it was just a toxic friend, it was a toxic off and on ex you all allowed to come into your life and disturb your relationship. And what was your thought process? Cause he lost so much toxic friends. That made sense? To you? To him? To a therapist? He loses all his toxic but gained an even more toxic person? Yeah, honestly sis, sounds to me like you all may not be with the right people to be making some no kinda sense logic decision like y'all did. Sounds to me like you all like having toxic and messy in your lives. You all seriously need to think about maybe getting a new therapist, maybe someone who can guide you into healthy, not allow repeat toxic person to become a friend. As well as maybe you and he need to know when to call it quits if you all need a therapist and he needs exes as friends instead of just making you he everything and only needing you. Tell him it's never okay to be friends with an ex. There are a ton of reasons why, but now this is just a good one for an example for you too. Mike is the cause of all the drama. Why does he want to remain friends with her? He needs to grow some balls and cut her off. Next story 2. We cheated each other, and actually lived an amazing marriage after. So, recently I read a post questioning people that forgave a cheater, what was the outcome? And was not surprised when I saw that 90% of the time, the outcome was not good. Most of them divorced right after, or discovered new cheatings. So, since my story is not the regular ending, I decided to come here and share to you. Just to say, that, I'm not encouraging anyone to forgive any kind of cheating, it worked in my case, but I know that most of the times this is a terrible idea, so if you see yourself in that situation, think really hard about it, and know that the best thing is probably to not forgive. That being said, in 2013 I met a lovely girl 17 years old at the time, same age I had then. I'll call her Charlie, and I had a friend in common and she insisted for some time for me to ask Charlie out. Charlie was stunning, funny, and lovely. She was also strong and intimidating, which really turned me on. We started dating since that day, but we would also go to parties and kiss other people, since we were not in a serious relationship yet. After close to 6 months we decided to make thing official, and stopped kissing other people. Our first year was amazing, we go out, always having a blast, we got along really well and we were really falling for one another. But then, my part of the blame kicks in. I will start saying that I was stupid teenager, was a nerd most of my life, and still am, but at 17, I made some new friends, and started to become more popular which really got into my head. That happened around the time I met Charlie, and it was the first time in my life that I really felt desired by girls. I really switched from shy nerd to a shameless flirty boy, and looking now, I don't even know how I was able to be such a feudal brat back then. To say it directly, I cheated on Charlie. When we were 18, it happened in 2 separate occasions. I have no excuses for myself, I behaved like an ass and had a bad character in that point of my life. My relationship with Charlie was going down, and I decided to tell her what I did, and break up. I decided I will tell her 2 weeks after Valentine's Day, but 1 week before, she said she was going to a birthday party with a friend. I was okay with that, but noticed that she was acting shady. She hid who the friend was, she hid the place of the party or how she would go and get back. After thinking about it I decided to call her friend, pretending that I wanted to know the place of the party, so I could pick the girls there when they wished to leave. It did not surprise me when her friend in a confused tone asked me what party. Well, not that I had any right to be angry, but I already knew war was going to happen. Charlie obviously did not answer my calls that night. I stayed up all night, more feeling guilty for what I did, than angry at her. Since it has been 10 years already, I did not recall all the details, but the next day I went to her house. She was not happy to see me there. When she go to the bathroom I grabbed her phone, just to confirm what I knew. She indeed kissed a guy. I was not angry, just numb, and feeling that I in fact deserved that. I told her I cheated on her also, and that I'll be going home and in a few days we could talk to sort things out. She was really upset, so was I, but we met to talk. It was sad, we were both disappointed, both with yourself and the other. I asked her she wanted to break up. For my surprise she said no. I then said I also did not want to, but though it will be better for us to think about more, and not get back just to repeat those horrible moments. We stayed a couple months with a little distance, we talked to each other, but were trying to proceed in a natural way. After almost 3 months, she sent me a text saying if you want me, come to my house now and never cheat on me again, or we break up for good and move on. That message struck me like a bullet. I did not know what to do, cause I wanted her, but I was terribly afraid of hurting her again, and also afraid of she hurting me again. Well, I went there, we talked, made love, cried together, and both promised to never let this happen again. After that, we've been together for 8 years, we are now waiting for our second son, we will have 2 precious boys. I'm devoted to my Charlie and our family. I'm now back to my usual nerdy way, have just a handful of good friends, and outside of my work and house/family chores, just like to play games and RPG with my friends. Charlie have become a devoted wife and mother. She's been by my side in every moment, and has grown to become an even more gorgeous and respectful woman. I'm always proud to be at her side, in all of her accomplishments. She's also an amazing professional, outside being an amazing mother. Now there is nothing more that I want in my life, than to be the best husband and father, that my biggest desire for the rest of my life. There's never been any other incident related to cheating or something like that. We both have full trust in each other, and our marriage and family grows stronger every single day. That's my story. Love you, Charlie. Just to warn again, please, don't take this as an encouragement to forgive any kind of cheating. Our circumstances were kinda different than most, so I don't want to preach for something that may go terrible wrong in other cases. If you find out our so is cheating, please, seek for support from family, friends, and be in your best head to take such important decisions. Wish you all the best. Comment. Good for y'all up. I'm glad you two overcame the obstacles and built a solid marriage. Thank you for not being that guy who goes around preaching reconciliation saying oh everyone makes mistakes and all that bullshit. I truly hope you two have a wonderful life together. There was a lady that posted years ago about how her husband didn't seem to forgive her 7 months long affair. I couldn't believe the density of this woman and how she was shocked her husband didn't show love and respect after such a blatant betrayal. That's a situation where I would have no other option than an immediate divorce. I hope that you both did learn and you both did actually stop cheating. You can only speak on your end but hopefully she did too and later you won't find out that one of your sons aren't your son. Not trying to be negative, just read a post in the sub about that and it's truly sad that the person believed with his whole heart that they did overcome and their relationship was great but finding out that one of the kids wasn't his. They finally got the divorce they should have got the first time they cheated but it is what it is. Good luck, hope all really is great with you all but usually cheating means that person isn't your person. Hey man, the only reason it worked between you two even after you cheated on each other is because both of you felt strongly for each other and no one else. Most cheaters are selfish pricks who cares about nothing but their own pleasure. Glad to hear such an out-of-book story.